Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's video will be a continuation of the Meet the Fleet series. I hope you enjoy, and please, if I could remind you to like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. It really helps the channel. Okay, this first train is going to be Eddie the Engine Class 66 on a Tesco intermodal. I bought this one second hand off of eBay about 2 years ago, and it's as it came from the factory. It's had no sound and nothing else fitted to it. I have added the detailing pack to the front and a KD to the rear, but that's about as far as I've gone. I do intend to weather this one and fit sound at a later date. Quite an attractive livery, isn't it? The blue really suits it, and don't forget this was a service offered by DRS. This one is a weathered Class 66. This was weathered by Dan at DH Loco Works about a year ago. I said I wanted it filthy and he delivered. I really like the way he's got the fuel spills around the fuel fillers on the tanks, and a nice bit of grot on the roof and on the front and rear. I did provide Dan with some photographs of what I wanted, and he delivered. This one, I've got to reset the acceleration and deceleration curves on this one because it does 2 circuits of my layout from hitting the stop button to it actually stopping. So I ballsed it up a little bit. Nice short train there of ribbed wagons. I think one of them's an MHA spoil wagon. Don't know what the other ones are. This one's my favourite. This is GBRF 66702 Blue Lightning, another one that's been weathered by Dan over at DH Loco Works. This one has got a Lego Man Biffo lock sound version 4, I believe, with 2 20x20x7 mega bass speakers from Roads and Rails. It's been detailed at the front and a KD fitted to the rear. On a side note, I've been buying extra containers to sit on my intermodal train, so you'll notice that although the same wagons are being used, I'll be hands up and admit that now, I have changed the actual containers over to represent different trains. This is a Euro Cargo EWS 66 on steel. These tip hook wagons were bought second hand. Again, this loco was sound fitted from the factory. I've added the front valance and the air and vacuum pipes and a KD at the rear. It's got upgraded speakers. Again, I think this one is 2 20x20x7 mega bass speakers from Roads and Rails. Unfortunately, my laptop that's got all the information stored on it is playing up, and I can't access the spreadsheet to actually tell you exactly what's been done to this. So this is one in the queue for weathering. This is a Model Rail magazine limited edition that I bought about 7 or 8 years ago, I think. Good old green Freightliner 66 on a ballast train. This one was a second-hand purchase off eBay, sound fitted. Again, front valance and air and vacuum pipes have been fitted, and a KD at the rear. I have noticed on this one, I think it's this one, I've managed to knock the steps on one side. So if you can see they're a bit wonky, that's why. Oh no, I must have straightened them. Good old Freightliner green. I think the Freightliner livery is a bit bland on the 66s. It looks okay on the 86s, but unless it's the what they call the power haul, it's a bit boring, the green livery. Oh, EWS 66040. This was brought new by my wife for one of my birthdays. It's factory sound fitted, upgraded speakers, detail pack fitted, and will one day be weathered. Or I might keep this one as X Works with its white wall tyres. Don't know yet. I think the EWS maroon and gold livery is the best livery that the 66s carried, although I am quite partial to the DRS and the new Freightliner orange. I've actually got an Accurascale Freightliner orange 66 on order, but it hasn't arrived yet. So this is 67018 Rapid. This is, well, it's now classed as a railroad model because it's the early tooling with the traction tyres. Hasn't got the weight, and the lights at the front only work in whatever direction it's going in. The rear lights don't illuminate. I think they still sell this one as a railroad or a railroad plus model. It's certainly not as good as the latest tooling, of which I've got one. I think it's 67003 is the one that took a tumble off the layout and I had to rebuild. Although it's an early tooling, it's quite detailed. I mean, the 67s are quite a bland looking loco. So here we've got 67003 pulling the Royal Train. You can't have a model of Wolverton without having the Royal Train. So this is the later tooling. This is traction tyres have been removed. It's got directional lighting, rear lent lighting, bit more detail on it, and it's a lot heavier than the other version you just seen. I think it's feels like it's twice the weight. This one's been detailed, KD fitted on the end, and I'm and an R in whether I'm going to fit sound to this one. It's one of those will I won't I jobbies. I don't run the 67s that often. I actually bought them because I was going to recreate the charter trains that are top and tailed. usually with the steam loco on the front and the 67 on the rear to provide emergency assistance if required. So this one's been trundling around the weight layout for a while. Dapol Class 68, hauling a pair of Bachmann Collectors Club DRS coaches and 2 Accurascale nuclear waste wagons. I do like the 68, I think they're a very attractive loco. And these ones come from the factory with the details already fitted. It's got a Dapol Imperium 4 function, I think it's for either 4 or 6 function chip in it, so it's got the angel eyes lights. You can turn the direction lights off, you can turn the rear lights off, you can have the cab lights on or off, you can have the top light on or off. It's got a lot of functions. Very nice running loco, this one, very heavy, very smooth. One of my top haulers. And lastly, we've got a Freightliner Fugly Class 70 on a engineer's train. This is in the more attractive Power Haul livery. This was bought second hand off of eBay a couple of years ago, I think. Doesn't get run that often. I remember when they were first released back in the sort of mid-noughties. I was going to get one, but I didn't, so I ended up buying one second hand a couple of years ago. This one is still got its magnetic coupling. That's going to be taken out and replaced with a KD. And I haven't got round to fitting the detail pack in it yet. And I do believe this is as it came from the factory, so it's not had an upgraded speaker. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel. And I'll see you next time. Cheerio.